froze on me. What happened? What is going on here? Is it pulling us into our game? It is pulling us into our game. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Alright, so that's interesting. Yeah, the stream crashed there. Sorry, Pirate John. We are back though. This is a keep. Oh my god, why is crap popping up in front of my face? Go away. And we need to make it so people can see the game screen as well. Because it's defaulted to something else. This one. Done. Alright. So this is our 7, guys. It actually went through so that we won that last game, which is interesting. Lucky us. And looks like my opponent's going for that turn 1 discard. Fortunately, we've got double hexproof creature in our hand. Probably getting a once-off use from scale up, and that's about it. Opponent with the Thoughtseers. Not surprised there. Yeah, so the matchup here, John, is whether or not their turn 1 Thoughtseize is like really good against you. Also, excuse me, being able to get to your flying is really good. Like evasion, going over the top of your opponent's creature is very critical. Alright, they take the Bogle. And the Misha's Bubble trigger was targeting me, so they know the card we're drawing now, which is a Cartouche of Solidarity. Alright. Creature pass. So, like, if they're going after Bogle there instead of something like Rancor, you'd have to assume he's probably got some sort of way to Edict us. Or explosives. Alright, what are we drawing? Land? Alright, let's go for Cartouche of Solidarity first. There shouldn't be a Liliana of the Veil. Okay. So he counters the Cartouche of Solidarity. We've got a second one, so we'll play that. And we'll attack for 2. Another 4 power in hand, plus the scale up adds another 5. Sorry. The Rancor in hand takes us to 4 power, plus the scale up adds 5 for 1 turn. So we've technically got 9 damage that we can do next turn. Our opponent would need like a Fatal Push or a Lightning Bolt on the Warrior token, plus the it's like a red-black card where target player sacrifices a creature at sorcery speed as one of the modes. Alright, goodbye Rancor. Never mind, goodbye scale up. This seems odd. My opponent definitely would have like Death Shadowed if he had it then. It's a very unsettling feeling at the moment, you know, chat. Alright, let's go ahead and attack for 5. Puts our opponent to 6. Opponent concedes. Very odd. Very, very odd. Alright, well, we get the 2-0 there against that Grixis Shadow deck. I guess he just expected turn 1 discard to be good enough. And when it wasn't, and we had the second hexproof creature, he couldn't handle it. So, we'll, of course, take the win. Alright, here we are for match number 5, everyone, versing the Hummingbird. I've admired his name a few times before. Still not remembering what he's on, though. See a Urian deck. Okay, Hate Bears. Alright, we'll keep this hand. This hand is, like, semi-good. We want to draw auras from this point forwards. What? Stuff. Oh, hello, Scale Up. Good find, good find. Scout Pass. So we can actually protect our best aura here, Ethereal Armor, from an on-curve Skyclave Apparition. That's fine. Laden Arbiter does not hurt us here. It's a good find as well. Yes, Pirate John, I am back. Sorry about that. The computer froze on me. So I had to go and do a restart. Thanks for rejoining the stream. I feel like we want to go Sentinel's Eyes, Ethereal Armor, and attack for 4. He's probably going to Skyclave Apparition the Ethereal Armor. Then next turn we can Rancor plus Scale Up, attack for a bunch. I want to protect Rancor, and I can't really Scale Up this turn without him just chump blocking. So Rancor and Scale Up are going to work well in conjunction here. In response to your question before, Pirate John, you probably didn't hear me answer it. Against shadow decks, it's sort of like 50-50. A lot of the time, if you're on the draw, it's about whether or not they have Thoughtseize, and if they do, if that Thoughtseize takes your hexproof creature. Okay. Opponent has Vial on 2 and 2 mana open. So we should be pretty free to just jam our effects here. I'd say against Grixis, it's probably... I don't know, all the shadow decks probably just fit in the same difficulty category. We'll get ahead and attack for 12 here. So that puts our opponent to 4. Now we can Bogle and pass the turn. Alright, now our opponent's going to have like Ether Vial with Skyclave Apparition active at instant speed. He could also like Skyclave plus Flicker Wisp or double Skyclave. This is the point where the game's probably going to become a bit harder. Sword of Fire and Ice. Alright. He's got to have a way to get rid of Rancor here. Hopefully we find another Rancor and we can just trample over the top and win. That is not Rancor. Alright, so of course we'll go for the attacks. Vigilance and all. I guess they can go after Ethereal Armor. No, they just concede. What? Did he have literally nothing in hand? That's actually so lucky for us. What? Bring in Force of Vigor for the sword package and Battle Skill package. It's probably all we want. Dayside's not really going to do much. I'm going to be interested to test Scale Up in this matchup. I think we can remove Spirit Dancer. Maybe a Fetch Land as well. Alright, let's go with that. Oh boy. Three Deicide. Are you really running into that much Heliod combo? I wouldn't say that I'm running into that much Heliod combo, John, but when I do run into it, it's a very difficult matchup. So it's like arguably the top deck in the format currently, power level wise. So I like to be able to beat it when I do come across it, if that makes sense. Alright, we get rid of a fetch land and see a hand here with 2 in the starting hand. I think this is a keep anyway, though. We can turn 1 creature into turn 2 and 3 enchantments, so it's pretty reasonable. Obviously, a good hand from our opponent will just wipe the floor with us, though. However, if he has a slow hand with literally just Lead and Arbiter in it, we might be in for a pretty good time. I've noticed like these Hate Bear matchups have become a lot easier recently, and the reason behind that is they've stopped running Shadow Spear. So because they don't have Shadow Spear anymore, their Path to Exiles can't hit my hexproof creatures anymore, because Shadow Spear has an active which makes your opponent's creatures lose hexproof. And obviously that's not very good for us. But yeah, they've stopped playing Shadow Spear, thankfully. Turn 1 Ghost Quarter. Ether. Do I fetch a basic to play around the Ghost Quarter? Find another land. It's only bad getting a basic here if we run into... No, this is fine. We don't need to get a basic. If we draw like White Aura 2 turns in a row, it's like bad that we didn't get a basic. But that seems like it's not going to happen very often. And like, yeah, like Ghost Quarter just destroys any land anyway. It doesn't matter if it's basic or not, right? Yeah, okay, never mind. All that basic talk was for nothing. I don't miss a land drop. Has a 1 mana thing. That's fine. We'll fetch Shock. We kind of want to get like just all tempo gardens here so we don't get mana screwed. So Cartouche, extra point of damage on the field. Hyena Umbra, attack for 3. Alright, so it does look like he has the Giver of Runes, which is an irritating card for him to have. Means he can stop a bunch of our damage. Might be worth going in on this second scout, but then it's like way worse if he has a whole bunch of interaction with like Skyclave Apparition or something. Upkeep his Charming Prince to scry to filter his draw. Fair play. 2 cards to the bottom. I'm guessing neither of those cards were land then. Wow. But this Giver of Runes is obviously very frustrating for us. So, like, no matter, like, if we play the Daybreak or not, our opponent's going to block with Charming Prince, give it protection from green with the Giver. So we sort of need to get a second creature into play here. They're now at the point where they can instant speed stuff in with Aether Vial as well. So Flicker Wisp, Giver of Runes. I wonder if, like, Lurrus is worth it at this point or not. Because we can scout Hyena Umbra on the second scout. We can scout, play no auras. We can Lurrus to hand and do nothing else. They get Scout Hyena and then pass. This makes it hard for my opponent to attack into me as well. Who would have thunk? 80 card deck is getting land screwed here, people. I mean, I get land screwed in my 60 card deck, so very understandable that that might happen in an 80 as well. It looks like he's got a second Charming Prince. All right. So this time he scried 1 card to the top. I'm guessing he's going to make his land drop this time. No land drop? Alright, there's the land drop. You got it, opponent. Stoneforge Mystic. Hang on. Disenergy with Leonin Arbiter, which obviously they haven't played. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say my opponent is probably going to get Batterskull. Maybe a sort of Feast and Famine, though. We will see. Maul Skyclaves. Weird. Maul's, like, not that good here, right? So you're looking to, like, instant speed be annoying? Really wish we'd stop flooding out as well. It's pretty unfortunate. I shouldn't have attacked with that Vigilance token. My bad. Opponent jumps up the Vigilance Warrior real quick here. Real quick smart. And he's actually allowing himself to take 3 damage here. So go us. Watch him fetch the spear and make me lose hexproof. Come on, man, don't say that. Honestly, I'm flooding out really badly, so he's probably in a decent spot. If if he commits like 2 artifacts to the board and I draw a Force of Vigor, I could be in an okay spot. But yeah, currently it's interesting. Vile's also now on 3, so Skyclave Apparition can be a problem. Instant speed. Jesus, man. What is with this deck? The old screw beats flood scenario. Hardcast Force of Vigor? I absolutely would. As soon as he commits what he needs to the board, I absolutely would. We're going to look to get Lurrus back here and then maybe redistribute some of our enchantments that go to the grave. Opponent's going to maul one of the Charming Princes here and then probably block this Scout, which is on 3 power. Dropping the Hyena Umbra. Where are the Rancors? Man, who knows? We don't need Rancor, apparently. Opponent blocks both creatures, gives protection to one, blows up the other. Alright. Cool, cool. It's like real slow here. Alright, Totem Armor down. Alright, Lurrus in hand. Let's go. No Skyclave Apparition, no Flicker Wisp from my opponent. What in God's name did he keep in his hand? Like, being serious here. If he kept a 1-lander with Aether Vial, and he's got no 3-drops, what could he have possibly have kept? Looks like he's ticked it up to 4. He might be looking to reset the Urian. Okay. You sure showed us with your no lead and Arbiter hand. It's Forest. Maybe we'll make our opponent think we only have 2 basics when in fact we have more. Second Giver of Runes. Okay, well this is where it becomes bullshit territory and really difficult to win. He's got flying. I can't block that. That's sad. Slowly dying to pretty much just Giver of Runes here. The rest of his creatures, like, we could attack into for days, but Giver of Runes just stopping everything makes life very hard. Let's cast that here. Probably doesn't make a huge amount of sense, but I really want to attack with both creatures. Maybe force some interaction so we can core Spirit Dance. Oh, so we can Lurrus plus Hyena Umbra. Though if we do that, we don't get the core Spirit Dancer draw. Looks like my opponent's ready to give up Stoneforge Mystic, which sort of indicates he doesn't have any other artifacts in hand. No, he's protecting the Stoneforge Mystic, sacrificing the Charming Prince. Okay. Oh god, what has he got now? Path to Exile on his own Charming Prince. Sure. Sure. If we Lurrus now, we probably don't return Hyena Umbra. If we Spirit Dancer now, it means we can Lurrus and get a draw next turn. And it's better against removal. Alright. Let's Spirit Dancer down. Leave Lurrus in hand. Hope he doesn't have a second path. Is Vial going up to 5? That is the big question on everyone's mind. Do you think Heliod will eat a ban? I mean, I think Heliod is a ridiculous card because you can't interact with it in any way. Because it's not a creature, like even if you have Path to Exile, you can't exile it. Even if it is a creature under being on the battlefield, usually they've got like Ranger Captain of AUS, and they can just sack that in response to make it not a creature anymore. The fact people have to do dedicated sideboard cards against it, I mean, it's a really strong deck, but they could just ban Walking Ballista and it suddenly becomes a lot worse, right? If you don't ban Heliod and you ban something, I think something has to be banned eventually. But we've seen like Wizards and how long they take to ban cards, right? Alright, they've hit Sword of Fire and Ice, so they have protection from blue and red. Of course, Spirit Dance is gonna eat a Sword of Fire and Ice trigger here. We can like still stay alive here potentially, actually. If we draw flying, or if we draw, they can re-equip Molder Charming Prince again and have it untapped. Spike Feeder combo thing is still on. Spike Feeder combo still a thing on paper. I'd assume it's still a thing on paper, right? I see no reason why it would no longer be a thing. I think the Spike Feeder thing is like the most obnoxious thing about the deck, because like you can lose to a lot of the other effects, right? And it I don't know, it doesn't feel as bad to me. But the whole like Spike Feeder just gain infinite life, like losing to infinite damage on Walking Ballista feels more fair to me than like the rest of it, right? Alright, we need to attack with our creatures here. Our opponent obviously has flying, so he has us just dead next turn. There's also potential they can... I don't know, what else could they nerf out of the deck? That's just fine. Let's just concede. I don't know. Are there any other cards you think that they could like ban to nerf the deck without just killing it? Like Conclave Mentor seems like a weird one because I don't really think it's a problem card. It would specifically hit Heliod Company though. Maybe maybe Hardened Scales as well, but mostly Heliod Company. Well, people, that's the power of Giver of Runes right there. Plain and simple. I think we get rid of Scale Up and just try to do our normal thing. It's too situational. I need like my auras to do stuff. Plus we saw having flying is good, so we wouldn't want to get rid of Spider Umbra. Alright, good 7. Let's go. What are the chances that Core Spirit Dances lives? We already saw from last game that the opponent kept in Path to Exiles. It's like really good aura base though. Let's say Spirit Dancer lives. She gets 6 from having 3 auras on her on turn 3. Plus the Ethereal Armor is 9. Plus the rest is 12. So it's a turn 3 attack for 12 with a very vulnerable hand. No life gain, but we have good evasion. I don't like it. Side and Containment Priest, man. If only there were enough sideboard slots to sideboard in everything we wanted, right? I think the bottom is Spirit Dancer here, but I might kick myself later on if the game goes super long. Is there any, like, aura that I don't really need? Do we really need Sentinel's Eyes? We can ditch a First Strike effect, or we can ditch the Sentinel's Eyes. Alright, let's get rid of the Hyena Umbra, I think. If only I was still playing, like, Suppression Field. That card's really strong at shutting down my opponent's deck. Interacts with their Ether Vial, with their land destruction, and with their Giver of Runes. Giver of Runes is such a powerful card. I don't think people realize how powerful Giver is. Of course, we draw absolute garbage here. Technically, I should play the Griffspoon here. If they Thalia and we miss a land drop, we're in a really shit spot. I kind of want to keep Griffspoon secret at the same time, though, so... It's probably right to play the Griffspoon. Stoneforge Mystic. Alright, get ready for the fun, people. What are we searching up? Batterskull this time. Alright, that's not Morve, that is Batterskull. Cool, we actually hit a land, so that's good. Let's give flying. We'll also give First Strike. And we'll attack in the air for 4. This is like sort of slow, but at least we've curved out properly. We hit our second land drop. We're not just like shot down into the dust just yet. The game can develop from here as opposed to us just getting screwed on tempo. Skyclave Apparition, everyone's favorite card. Alright, so they probably take the Griffspoon here, so I no longer have flying. Yeah, cool. Every time, people, every time. What to do, what to do. Spirit Dancer pass, hope. They can't have, like, all the apparitions, right? If they path this... If they path during their turn, we have 3 mana, we're guaranteed Core Spirit Dancer plus an Aura and a draw. If they path during our turn, lame sauce. Flicker Wisp. Getting rid of Skyclave Apparition, taking the Spirit Dancer. Yeah, we all know the line. I just want to be able to play, you know? Like we shouldn't be stonewalled from attacking ever because they've got Giver of Runes, right? This card is so powerful. I'm like very surprised they printed it into Modern. I know it's not played by many decks, but it is so fucking powerful. And in multiples here, how are we ever going to go wide with multiples of Giver of Runes now? This is like so bad as well because they're getting really close to just casting a Urian. They can put it to hand next turn. Fuck, this is so bad. We can't do anything here. We keep missing land drops. We keep missing on auras. We're just drawing these fucking creatures. That's what I mean about like the hand being good at the start, but we need to draw well. Like can't attack into this shit. Our one evasive effect was taken away. No haste on Giver. Practically unplayable. Yeah. That's what people said, right? Opponent's putting the Sword of Fire and Ice into play here. Sorry, Core Spirit Dancer, you're dying again. Dude, I just want to be able to fucking draw some cards right now. That'd be really good. We're back to this matchup being absolutely awful, by the way, for some reason. Opponent's drawing the right half of his 80 card deck. Finally. Yeah. I can also draw cards, opponent. How does that make you feel? I mean, I draw it, you know, 3 turns too late. 3 turns earlier would have been nicer. And curving into land, like, so we can Spirit Dancer, get a card draw off the Spider Umbra would have been nice, but hey, look, we're attacking. Let's go. We can, like, block the Flicker Wisp to stop card draw. We lose Totem Armor, though, because he'll give protection from green. He probably doesn't attack. He might have Maul here as well. Maul would be really bad for us. Actually, Batterskull on Flicker Wisp would just win the game. Can we draw that Force of Vigor now, please? Is he gonna... No, he's just gonna Urian, exile everything, fuck up my board state. Okay. Wait, no, he can't Urian. So he has to have another Flicker Wisp then. Otherwise he's dead to Daybreak? Okay. Charming Prince gain life will stop him from being dead to Daybreak. Charming Prince, get rid of Skyclave Apparition, get rid of the Grispoon. Yeah, that's pretty good too, people. I'm so over that fucking Giver of Runes, man. I think we could actually have, like, a semi-fair game against our opponent if Giver of Runes just didn't stop us from attacking when we don't have Flying or Trample. Like, how many cards have they exiled now? 4? Alright, well, this is game, people. Because, you know, we can't attack and gain life. They just get protection and fog the damage. Super lame. No haste on Giver. Practically unplayable. Look at that practically unplayable creature. Slapping us for fun. Oh, well. Unlucky, chat. Alright, what are we thinking here? Where is the... Change the screen. Doesn't have to be so enthusiastic about it. Alright, so, like, if you were ever... If Giver was Aliced or whatever the enchantment creature 1-drop was, what did that card do, Pirate John? I'm not familiar with that. So, like, I think Scale Up's pretty good if you're trying to, like, rush down and kill your opponent super quickly. It pretty much, like, if you cast it on curve, probably on turn 3, it pretty much gives you, like, a 3-turn clock instead of a 4-turn clock, which is pretty impressive. Are you talking about Burriton Forge Tender? Sack to stop red damage? Damage from a red source? I guess there's multiple 1-drop things that sack, but Burriton Forge Tender is like the only modern playable one that I know of. So I think Scale Up has merit. It probably wasn't, like, best shown in this league here today. I think running no Spirit Mantle is incorrect as well. I was trying to be really fast because we had Scale Up and, like, for mana efficiency purposes. But I think we need at least 2 Spirit Mantle. I don't think you can take, like, a properly competitive deck, Bogle deck, into Modern and not have Spirit Mantle in it at the moment. So Grispoon is, like, kind of weak. Cartouche can get trimmed. 2 cartouche is like probably fine over 2 Path to Exile. It gives us actual chance against Esper Charm, which is very difficult for us to beat. This is looking like so all over the place. There's so many 2-ofs in the list at the moment. Probably just trying to over tweak right now. So just go like we could trim on like Sentinel's Eyes. We probably want to keep Grispin quite high. Rancor has to be full. We've got that now. It's just Cartouche that has to come out. Alright, sideboard wise. I mean, like, obviously we can play other cards in our sideboard that Torpor Orb or Suppression Field potentially as well. Maybe even Damping Sphere over a Gadok Teague. I think, like, mostly we got unlucky here. I think the Damping Sphere over the Gadok Teague is something I should be doing more of, though. I'll take out 1 Teague for it. Because, like, the Legend rule is really awkward for us. It's, like, a way stronger card when we're versing Tron if it high rolls. If it doesn't, like, high roll, it's kind of bad. And, like, Damping Sphere dies to Nature's claims that Tron's going to be bringing in against us. Deicide should probably be something else, but I can't bring myself to minus on the numbers. Oh, guys, I am going to conclude that one here. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching. Good to see you again, Pirate John. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.